Alright, everybody, so we are back for another episode of Control Breakers. In case you're wondering what this is, it's our gaming podcast. Now, there are going to be a few changes. We're going to try to structurally make it have more structure. Well, that'll last like episode and a half, and then it'll just, go to the typical downfall.
It'll just go back to normal.
Right, but there are a few things I do want to talk about in this. So obviously this comes out on the CB channel on Mondays, so that's our release time, probably usually around 4-ish, sometimes 5-ish. So that's going to be the goal for it. Now, a lot of people have said sometimes they don't see a pop up on their YouTube thing, like they don't know why. And if we could bring it back to the actual CBC channel for others to hear it. So how we're going to do this is every Monday it's going to come out here on the Control Breakers channel. And then 6 days later, on Sunday, it's going to release on the CBC channel. So for people that want to hear it, that might have missed it, it'll be on there. So like a day before we record the next episode, essentially, so people can catch up and go, oh, okay, they're recording and it'll be out tomorrow. So, just kind of explain that.
Yeah, sounds very good.
Yeah, it should be good. So I'm your host, Armin. I'm here with Tom.
Hello.
And Tristan.
Hey, guys.
And I figure from now on, I'm just going to alternate how I announce people. So it's like, yeah, see, no one gets favorites now. And the good news is Tom will be playing The Division with us when we do those Let's Plays. Yep. I ended up getting him a copy because I'm like, Tom needs to join us for that shit. So
it's going to be cool. It looks really cool. I mean, are we talking the Division news that came out this week in this episode?
Well, we're going to talk Division much later in the show, but I want to open up the show.
I don't want to jump ahead.
Exactly. I did want to open up the show and talk about something that we used to do before, but then we kind of as we skewed when we record, we didn't so much. But since it's Mondays now, we could talk about games that are releasing this week, which typically release between Monday at like midnight, so technically Tuesday. And usually Saturday, depends on if you're like a Nintendo product or something. So a few games I'm going to name off that are coming out this week. 2 of them I already bought. I'm just waiting for it to unlock. So the first one, I have no idea if anybody's going to play this one, but Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia.
No, I've not played any of the Assassin's Creed Chronicles. I'm not a huge fan of the 2.5D style.
See, I love it, but I just don't care about Assassin's Creed enough to play it.
Yeah, that's partly it as well. Yeah.
I don't know. Tristan, what's your take on these?
I mean, it's really good from what I've seen. I haven't played any of them yet, but they said that they're really good 2.5D platformers, but I don't really see the need to because I kind of waned off. I still haven't even played Syndicate yet.
Yeah, see, I know. That's exactly what I'm saying. Well, like, is it just me, or like, is there too much Assassin's Creed? Like, I'm at the point where I'm just like, listen, there's too much of you. I'm barely even, like, I still never finished Unity, so, like, get the hell out of here, Like, God, there's so much.
Well, I think that's the reason why they're taking a break this year, supposedly.
Yeah, to let people fucking catch up and actually make a game that's not buggy and glitchy and...
I mean, I got Unity, like, a year after release, and all the bugs by then were gone. Like, it was a flawless game at that point, like, apart from the fact that it was boring.
Hey, I only fell through the map 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, the version I got came with a few DLC extra stories that took place something like a year after the main game, but I never even bothered finishing those. It's just... That's the reason I've not played Syndicate. See, it kind of put me off for a while.
I'm having this trouble where it's like, I want to play these other Assassin's Creed games, but then this week there's like a big Steam sale, so I was able to score Assassin's Creed Rogue for something like $6. And I love that one on PS3, so now I'm just going to replay it on PC again. So I'm just like, because like, I'm always unsure about new Assassin's Creed games, but then the old ones I really like, I can always go back to and play and know their qualities. I'm just like, I'll go back to the quality ones before the new ones disappoint me,
I've yet to play Rogue, but everybody tells me it's like the best one they've done in years, so like I need to just bite the bullet and play it on my Xbox 360.
It's a direct sequel to Black Flag, but you play as a Templar, so...
Yeah, I mean, that sounds cool. I mean, my favourite part of Black Flag was honestly the opening sequence when you played as... what's his name?
Yeah, so like, if you play Rogue, you'll understand the opening sequence.
Oh, no, it wasn't Black Flag.
For Rogue, you will understand the opening for Unity.
Yes, that's what it was, yep. Because it ends right when Unity begins, so...
Sweet.
Yeah, pretty cool. So other than that, another game that a lot of people have been talking about. This is straight up for people who are fans of like Twilight Zone, X Files. All these weird shows. Firewatch comes out. So you're a Firewatch person who is sent down into the woods, and you got like a radio that you communicate with one woman, and that's it. You live out like his time watching over this like California woods now. There's a mystery going on, and like there's weird stuff happening. It looks phenomenal. Like the moment I saw it, I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. It's like a $20 DLC game, so you can't really go wrong with that.
Yeah, I hadn't even heard about this till like 2 days ago when I looked it up. But it looks fantastic, and it's not necessarily a sort of game that I would have sought out. But yeah, I'm gonna have to play it at some point, definitely.
I mean, it's these type of games that to me always like attract me the most. Like and this game and the next one we're going to talk about are specifically like I love games that are designed by smaller teams or a couple people that they kind of harken back to something more simpler. Like everything nowadays is like everything's got to explode, be a big set piece. And they're just like, no, let's just go tell a good story, about like heart and passion. I'm like, yeah, that's how it fucking should be, So I'm psyched. I don't know if anybody else has gotten it, but whatever.
I'll probably will get it. I'm just wondering when it comes out. It comes out tomorrow.
Yep.
I might check into it.
I mean, guaranteed there's going to be some sort of sale on it within the first 6 months during like an anniversary PlayStation sale or something. It's even one of those games I could see on part of PlayStation Plus in like half a year or a year or so.
Well, yeah, they do because like I said, I got Bastion for like $1.45 at one of their sales.
Yep, good stuff. The other game, another indie game that's coming out, Unravel. This is the one where you're like Yarny. It's a little yarn dude, and he's running around. Like, looks absolutely just mind-blowing good. The graphics are some of the best I've seen probably ever.
Is it made by that guy that was at E3 last year?
Yes.
That was like he was gonna have a breakdown.
Yes.
And say, please buy my game.
The dude that was nervous as hell, and he's like, that's the only guy I've ever seen give a presentation who wasn't a shill. Like, he legitimately looked nervous and scared about his game. He's like, I don't know if I can handle people watching me. I'm like, dude, that's a genuine human being right there. So, yeah, I was super psyched about that. Like,
I don't like to be judged.
I mean, if people haven't seen this game, Unravel looks so good. It's another one of these indie games. I mean, the reviews for this and Firewatch are good to great, so take from what you will from that. But I pre-ordered it forever ago. Can't wait to see it pop up on my PS4 and play through it just like Firewatch. So yeah, and then yeah, exactly. I mean, should be good. And we got one more that's releasing this week. I don't know if anybody's gonna have anything to say about this one, but Dying Light: The Following.
And I haven't played Dying Light, so I don't think I'm playing this one.
So I own Dying Light, and that's it.
How is it through the updates?
I don't know. I own it. I didn't say I played it.
Oh.
Like, I bought it because my local FYE was closing, and it's like, cost like, I don't know, like $8 or something. So I was like, oh, I'll get Dying Light. I'll play it sometime. I also have Dead Rising 3. I've played like maybe 2 seconds of that one, so I don't fucking know.
Yeah, because I've seen the updates. They've really revamped everything because people were complaining about like a pipe breaking in 3 hits.
Oh god, yeah, yeah, I've seen that. I'm like, ooh, I don't know. Well, is that like Dead Rising team that made it, or Dead Island? Which one's the fucking one?
Yeah, it's the Dead Island team. I forgot what their dev team's called again.
Yeah,
but I think that's the one. That's the team that got all like butthurt because their sequel game got canceled.
Yep. That's the one. Goddamn butthurt people. So yeah, with that in mind, now we're gonna go to actual conversations. So let us know if you guys are gonna be picking up any of these. I'm picking up, I know for sure, Firewatch and Unravel. Unravel I pre-ordered on PS4. Firewatch I pre-ordered on Steam as I built my new PC because it just feels like I want to play that on PC so I can test out a few more games. Throw some stuff at it. So yeah, it should be a pretty decent week, especially for downloadable titles since all 4 of these are downloadable. Huh.
Well, yeah, I might get Firewatch because I only got one game last week because there's a bunch of other games coming out this week. And,
yeah.
Doing the first review spoiler for the channel because they're trying to get more original shows up on there. And thanks to everyone who actually likes the new intro for the Control Breakers
Oh, that
channel.
was fucking great when I saw that. I was like, oh man, that was a killer intro. So
Yeah, I love it. I love the music. I love the way you did the graphic animations. And yeah, I don't know if sorry, I was just on the phone. I've just come back, but you're doing a intro for Dynamic Films as well for the Control Breakers machinima. I'm going to be uploading.
Trying to find good templates and
I'm
everything.
liking what I've seen so far, so I'm sure it's going to be great. But there's a new one coming, and I don't know. By the time people are listening to this, it might already be out. But it's called "Don't Drink and Drink." And, yeah, it's a pretty funny video.
So with that, I do want to say that since Tristan mentioned reviews, I will be doing a review of XCOM 2, which I'm going to talk about just for a second. And actually, I'll talk about it later on for what we're playing.
You should talk about how Sean's still mad that he can't play it.
Oh, Sean's ghetto PC.
Well, he tried to use it on his TV and it can't handle it because I think it only goes up to 720p.
Oh.
Isn't there a PS4 version though?
There isn't yet. Like, that's what they did with the original XCOM Enemy Unknown. There wasn't a console version. Yeah, and then they released it later on when they patched everything and got it right. But like, so it's probably going to come in about a year. But so far it's PC exclusive, and I will say it's, man, I know it's early in the year, but it's so far my #1 game of the year. So when I talk about it in a review, you guys will understand why. Now,
well, I'm not really a huge fan of the first one. I didn't really get to play it that much, so yeah, I can wait the extra year for it to come out on console.
Well, that's understandable. You know, they're also very.
I'm sure you'll buy it again.
Right.
You'll get it again and just play with all of us on console again in a year's time.
Exactly. So I mean, we'll see how that goes. So there it is, guys. That was the first topic we had for you at hand. So let's jump on to the second one, which we're going to start talking about. E3 is already coming at us, and the first thing we're going to talk about is EA is skipping out on E3.
Yeah, I did a video on that. If you want to go check it out on the channel, but it's basically what Nintendo did last year, well, the years before, where they said, "Oh, we're not going to E3 because it's not our thing anymore." And come to find out, last year they came back to E3. What happened, Nintendo? You said it wasn't your thing anymore.
They just didn't have anything for it. That's it.
But
they just didn't want to come with like weak material and get shit on.
And see, I believe that with Nintendo, but this is EA. Like, they're gonna show more. Whatever the new Star Wars is probably gonna be shown, right? Show Battlefront DLC. They're probably gonna show off some brand new unannounced game. Titanfall 2 is probably gonna be shown off. Like, EA has a bunch, so I understand in that sense. Like,
maybe there's too much embargo. Maybe Disney's blocking them from showing any Star Wars related stuff. So that's why they're just like,
that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, they're doing 2 shows, one in Los Angeles, another one's in London.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, EA has always had a big presence at E3, so it's going to be weird not having them there, you know? And like, it's going to be weird.
For the first year, most likely, because that means there's more time for the others that go that day.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
There's going to be so much awesome shit getting announced anyway. Like, you're not even going to care.
Well, yeah. I
mean, you won't care, but like you'll feel that void about. Isn't EA supposed to be going right about now?
Yeah. Who the hell knows?
But yeah, with that Battlefront DLC, I was really surprised. I was really surprised that they were saying that they can't. Well, Disney said that they can't do, Episode 7 content because apparently it has to be canon. So I guess they can't have Episode 7 characters messing with the original original trilogy,
right?
In their prime. I guess that's what it is.
And yet, the Red Arm C-3PO plotline in Lego Star Wars Force Awakens is apparently canon.
Well, see, I actually did want to talk about that for a second, because the whole Lego Marvel / like Star Wars deal. It's my belief that is an old contract that they couldn't nullify because they also do the actual Lego figurines. So as long as they hold those Lego figurines, EA can't say shit about those games being put out. So it's like a few loopholes do exist in that, right? So,
I mean, Lego at this point have kind of earned the right to.
Yeah, so if any other game wants to do a Star Wars thing, they actually have to go to EA to see if they want to okay it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gonna be weird. I mean, we'll find out what EA's gonna have. I mean, what do you guys think they're gonna show? To me, honestly, they gotta show Titanfall 2 at some point. Like I think this is the EA
Yeah,
E3 they do it.
well, from what the people have been saying is that Titanfall 2 is going to be multi-platform. Probably going to show the DLC for Battlefront, and hopefully, most people want to see Dead Space come back because that's a
I'd love to do Dead
unfinished,
Space.
unfinished plot point.
God.
Yeah.
What other games do they have? Because they usually just go with the multi-plat shooters, and I know they have
Need
some
for
IPs.
Speed.
Well, the last couple were crap. What do you want?
I forgot you existed.
Okay, wait. How about this one? Battlefront just came out. This year they're gonna announce Battlefield and announce it for fall, and every year they're gonna alternate Battlefield, Battlefront.
Yeah.
And it's my prediction that this one will be 2144 or something like that. On the because they did like 2142 or whatever.
So they're gonna go to the far future.
They're gonna
now?
go to the
Yeah.
future just to fight Titanfall, like by themselves. They're gonna like, oh fuck, it's Battlefield, mechs again, Intel, motherboards, shit. I don't know.
Well, at least they. Was it Respawn that does Titanfall?
Yep.
Well, at least they kind of listen to their fans, and they're gonna put a single player story mode into this because that hybrid multiplayer single player, I guess, voice chat stuff didn't really make any sense because
No, that was shit.
most people couldn't understand what they were saying while they were playing.
Yep, that was shit, to say the least. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see about that. But let's jump on to our next conversation, which I simply titled "Red Dead Fuck You." So
I don't know what what that was about.
So
Yeah.
Microsoft.
I love Red Dead. What the hell?
Right, Microsoft is doing emulation. So suddenly, if you jumped through a loophole, if you saw someone that had Red Dead Redemption on their watch list, you could click it and download the game to your Xbone. Okay, so I did that and I played it, and it fixes out some of the jaggies and it runs smooth as hell. And then they rip it away from everybody if you try to play it again. They say, well, we're just testing every game. So clearly it accidentally got out there, and it's probably going to be in the next update. But what really chaps my ass in the way they're just like pretending it doesn't happen. Like, well, yeah, that's just what we do with our games. It's like, no, that exists. Like, just release it.
I think it was because if you did do that, they did release a statement saying that you have to use the content under their guidelines. So if people were getting it ahead of release through a loophole, that must be the reason.
But see, I thought their fucking loophole, because all I did was force disable the internet, and I'm still playing Red Dead. So fuck you, Microsoft.
Because that was the official statement on like one of their Twitters saying that since it was not officially announced and people getting it through a loophole, that technically they shouldn't even be playing it right now.
Motherfuckers.
But yeah, I'm excited that people are playing the games that they want to play. But like I said, is that they need to announce. They should just announce it since there was, I guess, a loophole, and I guess there was a bug in the system that allowed people to do it in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. It's just so like. Can they just come out and fucking announce a Red Dead 3 or whatever the hell they're gonna call it? Like, come on, people, just announce it.
Rockstar has plans. If another Western game is in the plans, they'll announce it. Otherwise, nope.
I wish also like that. You remember the game Gun?
Oh yeah.
I wish that never went away. Like, I wish that would have continued as a series because that was Red Dead before Red Dead existed.
Yeah.
So good.
It was like what I think Rockstar said before, because people would constantly be on the forums and stuff asking for like a remaster. They said it multiple times. They're not going to because the code is shit.
Oh god, yeah.
They had to rewrite a lot of the code, and they're not going to do that.
Red Dead Redemption is famously one of the most fucked code-wise games they've ever produced. Like, the code is just crumbles. That's why it never came to PC, because they said it was so many variables and so hectic that they couldn't get it to run right. So, oof, yeah. Well, at least the game ended up being a masterpiece in the end. So.
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, I do remember some of the famous horse glitches when like riding along cliff edges and stuff. The way like you just suddenly like fling yourself off the thing and Occasionally, you'd be walking alongside an edge, and suddenly the horse would just like jump to the top of a mountain and shit, and you'd just be like, "What the fuck?"
Good times,
I
good
loved it.
times. No, Red Dead is one of my favorite games of all time. It's in my top 5 ever. So like,
I did like the Western soundtrack that they did for it.
oh god, yes.
Yeah. Oh, that scene when you first go into Mexico.
I
and
was
the
just
song
about to
starts-
say that. That is a heart pounding like a masterpiece of a
incredible.
scene. Yeah.
It's like so. Some people like you would expect them like, at least somebody to be like, "Oh, nothing's happening. You're just walking for ages." And people always moan about in games where you're just doing nothing but walking for like 5 minutes. But man, they made it work. Like that was just cinematic.
See, we need that in an HD remake and a sequel. Come on, guys. Come on.
Just a sequel, I'll be happy, honestly.
Yep. So we're going to jump from that to our next conversation at hand. And the next one is going to be the Division beta officially came out, so we can finally talk about some of the stuff in there. I know Tristan had a bunch you want to say, as did I.
I think I logged in over 25 hours.
Oh man, I did like 10 in the alpha and probably about 10 in the beta. Now, for the beta, I jumped between the Xbone and the PS4 because I want to get my bearing on both. It's definitely sharper and plays better on the PS4. Like it's evident that it's better.
Yeah, it does, but it still has for some instances where you do get some popping from distant objects.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really like. I mean, I don't know if this is if I'm just late on this news, but I read this week that there's about the graphics setting on it. You can turn down your graphics to increase your frame rate. And turn
I
up
love
graphics
that
to
is in the
sacrifice
console
that.
version. That is
That is
genius.
genius.
Yep.
Well, yeah. I think it's because I think
I will
was it
happily sacrifice some.
yeah,
graphics.
it's Ubi's PC division that actually worked on this, so that's why the PC version and for better the console versions are almost 1-to-1, so you'll get almost the
They
same
said that the
experience.
PC version has a lot more customization and stuff with your visual settings, but
Yeah,
the
I've
console
seen the
version they're
pictures, so.
basically treating it as like a low power PC version.
Which makes sense. I mean, one of the things they said is like you can disable some of the extra lighting effects and it'll give you a boost in frame rate and things like that. It's like, oh, great. I'll totally do it because to me, if I'm in the heat of the battle, visual fidelity doesn't matter. So
To me, I mean, I don't mind a little bit of frame rate dropping anyway. Like I just love that they have the options. So certain scenes
Yeah.
I can
But
play around with.
and for me, the only frame rate drop I had was when I was trying to use the scan perk, and there was a lot going on. That's when it slowed down and it got a little blurry. And I played it for like 10 minutes, wondering what was going on. It fixed itself once I used the perk again, so I guess it's just something with the code.
yeah. Well, it's still a beta,
Yeah, I
so
And I think like at the time the beta, the amount of where we could go, it was I think like 22% of the map, but most of it was for that one mission for the co-op single player, and I think the other 12 was for the dead zone. But the dead zone is like I think it's divided into levels.
Yeah, I will say like what I did most of it was because you enter, you're in Manhattan, so you're running around. I wanted to just get the bearings of the land and go to some of the landmarks I knew, so I did that. Like because you start in Chelsea, New York, which is like right below Hell's Kitchen, so
Yeah.
it's so 1-to-1. It's almost jarring. Like there was a scene where I was like, okay, I'm gonna figure out if Shay figures out where I am. So I stood on this one like intersection with a bridge in the distance, just looking at it, and there was like this picket fence and everything, and I was like, hey Shay, check this out. And she had no idea what the hell I was playing, and she looks at it for a second. She goes, wait a minute, isn't that where we ate the shawarma from after we left Comic-Con? I was like, yes it is. She was like, it looks just like it. Like it's so uncanny how real and how exact it is that she could pinpoint without knowing what the hell I was playing and what city I was in, that it was New York in the exact corner of the street. So
Yeah. Tom, have you seen any of like the videos of the people playing the Division?
I've seen a few things here and there, but I mean, I'm trying to.
Well,
I'm not
like-
watching any Let's Plays.
Well,
because
I'm just gonna say that
I always like to experience.
the dynamic setting and weather effects are amazing.
oh my god.
Like I remember going through the dark zone, and it was at night, and there was a snowstorm. There's like I guess like 5 feet of visibility, so firefights in there are completely amazing because you don't know who's firing at you.
And I will say one of my favorite parts was just kind of going around, and now they added, like, this wasn't in the alpha, but they put it in the beta, like the story elements. So like you get this like almost hollow projection of like some instances of what happened when the virus broke out on people, and
Oh
there's
yeah,
like
with
a quest
yeah,
line you can follow.
with the data logs.
Yeah, like that's really cool because to me, it splits the universe. And what I really like about it was it actually this can be played in solo. Like I did everything there was, and I could do it in solo, and I was getting by just without a problem. If you go into the missions, they'll advise you to bring people with you, but you can totally do it by yourself if you're just
Yeah,
if you do it right. So
I'll
it's
probably
just
practice in solo for quite a
it's
while,
well
to be
from what it,
honest.
from what it means by solo. Yeah, and bringing people with you is that you, for the higher difficulty for the mission, you can bring in people because the higher the difficulty, the better the gear.
yeah,
Absolutely, yeah. It's like Destiny. You can play it on your own, but it's better with friends.
right. I mean,
And like the gear is like set into like full on MMO RPG aspects to where you got like five versions. You got your white, which is uncommon, your green, which is uncommon, your blue, which is basically I think it's superiority, and then purple, which I think I know that orange, yellow is high end, is the
yeah,
best gear you can get. And the things with that is that the higher tier of the gear, the more perks that it has on its own. But there is a little uh, thing that they didn't say is that you can unlock one perk and have the other one locked because it's relegated to, let's say, one perk you need about 450 firearms, which is your damage output for the guns, and you're about 430. It won't unlock, but your tech's about 650, and the tech perk will unlock. So you have to juggle how you want to play with your gear because certain gear will allow you better perks and
oh
upgrades to
yeah.
others. So it's really getting into that meta to where you need to figure out what's your best loadout at the time.
Right.
Well, I mean, I enjoy the beta, immensely. We're obviously going to do more about it. We're all the three of us are getting it on PS4, so it should be fun. It's going to be a good time to just explore the city. I can't wait to see how big the map it is. Do the
Yeah,
dark zone, see what type
yeah,
of missions they put in there.
yeah.
So,
I'm just gonna say this one thing for people who are not familiar with MMORPGs and PvP. Quit your bitching, okay? You can lose loot that you did not extract in PvP. That's the whole point
yeah,
of you have to watch out for people because they can backstab you. That's when I was playing. That's what I would do is because when you need to do an extraction, you fire off a flare, and people don't know. Once you fire off that flare, everybody in that section will be alerted to that there's going to be an extraction, and they will run straight to the extraction point. And that's when you're supposed to hide, not stand out in the middle so you can get gunned down and your loot gets stolen from you.
Sounds fun. I can't wait, man. This is going to be amazing.
yeah. It's going to be a great time. We'll obviously do some let's plays and all that, and our team ups and doing some of the missions. So,
And I do give this to the division to where you actually can pick up skins and clothing to customize your character.
oh yeah,
We'll have to do a stream as well. We'll do it on a party so all of our
yeah,
voices can be heard on the stream at the same time. Like that would be really fun, interact with the fans and shit.
damn right. So, with that in mind, let's go on to our next topic at hand. And the next one is going to be Bethesda after last year going to E3. They're coming back this year. So, I think the obvious, question is what are they bringing? And to me, honestly, the only thing I could see is the Fallout 4 DLC. And I don't think they bring Elder Scrolls. It's too soon
They
for Elder
haven't
Scrolls.
they haven't announced a release date yet for the mod kit that they're going to be doing. The what they call it?
Oh, right, yeah,
What, the console mod kit.
Yeah,
Well,
that's it.
yeah, the console
They
one,
haven't
but
officially. They haven't even released the PC official mod kit
I was going to
yet.
say, it's
They're
not even
just-
out on PC, so I don't know.
Yeah. So I mean, they've got to release that at some point.
Well, with that in mind, a lot of people were like, when they announced this, oh, they're going to bring Doom. But the Doom gets a release date in May, so it's like, oh, well, they're not bringing Doom. So do they have enough this time to actually, make a full conference? Because I don't think Fallout DLC is going to do enough.
Unless they announce new IPs or returning IPs.
Yeah. Yeah.
It might be. I mean, they might just pull what they did at that conference a couple of years ago, or last year rather, right before they announced Fallout 4. Like they'll just come out and they'll be like, right, this is going to be online tonight, and it's like they'll literally just come out and they'll like make a huge, great big deal out of the fact, oh yeah, it's going to be coming out on PC and consoles for mods, and you can start doing this today. And it's like, yeah.
And show off some of the features. I could see that. And maybe announce being like, oh, the
It-
first DLC will be out in 2 weeks, you know?
And I think they've had this stuff ready for a while and they've been holding it back.
Nah, I could see that. Trying to make a big splash. I mean, every time I think about this, there is no way they announce a new Elder Scrolls. There's like maybe next year at the earliest, but I still think the year after that. So like 2018, I see Elder Scrolls coming out. But yeah, it's gonna be weird.
Elder Scrolls, as long as they use a new fucking engine, man.
Yeah, that's all I want. That's all I want.
Like they will.
Well, I don't know. I've been playing Fallout 4 on PC since I built the new one, and thank God for all the mods and the load times on a solid-state hard drive, because, entering a building is like 2.5 seconds now. I'm like, thank God, I can actually enjoy it now. It doesn't, like, cut up my, break. Because, like, I was playing it on PS4, and sometimes the load screens would be, like, 35 seconds, and that, like, kind of slows you down, so...
Yeah, I mean, often when it's that much, that's usually in the great big buildings when you're going in. But I mean, the majority of the time, I find my load screens on PS4 10 to 15 seconds at most, and it doesn't bother me as much. The fucking glitches are what bother me.
Yeah, but that's my primary thing. I've gotten into a few of them, few serious, but luckily I was able to reload old states. So.
And like explosions, still the textures for the explosions aren't loading properly. Like I'm just seeing a blurred like square in the distance.
Square?
Yeah, it's like, you know how the texture is like individual textures, and like because it's faded, you see the edges of the texture, and it just looks bad. It's all pixelated.
Yeah, that's how it happens, I guess. So, I mean,
It does with Bethesda.
what do you guys want from a Bethesda E3? Like, to me, I would like it if they brought back Prey 2. Because, like, the first Prey is one of my favorite games of the last generation. Like, I really enjoyed the hell out of that game. I mean, alien abduction, dude in an alien ship trying to fight his way out. You were a Native American, so that was different than anything else.
Yeah, I remember.
Like,
I was thinking about that game like a while ago
I
too.
love that. That is one of my favorite. That's in my top 20 of the last generation. Like, it's so fun. The graphics were amazing. The music soundtrack was perfect. The character reactions were perfect. Like, there's a moment where every time he sees something fucked up, he does the Nathan Drake thing where he's like, man, I sure hope I don't get fucked by that. And it's exactly what you're thinking. And you're like, oh man, they totally understand the character and what you're going to be thinking. So like, and they showed Prey 2 off for like 3 years straight, and then they canceled it. It's like, can you just bring it back? Because like, you were going to be a bounty hunter on a giant open world in space. Like, it looked amazing. So
I'll tell you one thing that I hope that they do more, since you're talking about like how they're saying what the character's thinking. Something they missed a trick on in Fallout 4, they opened with it, is like as he goes to the refrigerator, like he picks up like the box of sugar bombs and stuff like that, and he goes, sugar bombs and all this. He doesn't do that throughout the entire rest of the game. He's just silent unless he's speaking to another person. I would have loved it if you walk into a place and like as you see like the what they call the flamers or whatever, and they've got the molten steel plant. Like as he sees that, I'd love him just like have a comment as he enters a building and stuff like that. But it never happens again outside the opening sequence. I think that was a shame.
yeah, I get what you're saying.
I mean, if you're going to have a voice protagonist, like take advantage of it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Give him some character.
That's what I'm saying for Firewatch, because it's like it's all character. So woo.
Otherwise, he's basically just not reacting to anything that's happening around him unless he's actively in dialogue with another character.
Yeah.
It just feels stupid.
Breaks immersion.
Exactly.
Yup. So, I don't know, Bethesda, well, we'll see what they do at E3. So now we're going to go on to our last topic, and this is going to be what are we playing currently. So like I said, I will have a review of XCOM 2 coming. I've put in, since it's come out on Tuesday, and, no, did it come on Tuesday? No, I think it might have come out on Friday. I don't remember what day it came out. It doesn't matter. I've put in like 42 hours since. One day I sat on my computer for 14 hours straight. This game... It's hard. I will tell people right now, if you're into strategy games, this strategy game is essentially the Dark Souls and Demon Souls of PC gaming. It is so hard that it will kick your ass one mistake, your squad will die, and you're going to have to go back to your ship, and one veteran is remaining, and they're like, all right, hire a bunch of rookies and take them onto this heavy mission now. You're just like, oh no, the clock is ticking. The aliens are going to take over my land. Oh, I'm running out of supplies. Oh shit. Like, you're constantly being pushed forward, and it's frantic and wants you to do stuff, but you have to be smart about it. Like, it's one of like the most heart-pounding games I've ever goddamn played, but that's what makes it fun, because you have to constantly move forward, and it's a risk-reward system, and my first game, I completely got demolished. Like, I thought I was doing good, and I let this thing called the Avatar Project go too far, which the aliens were building like secret weapons, and by the time I went to take them down, they built like 4 secret weapons I didn't see coming. They literally mutilated my team in about 6 moves on the map. Like, I just got fucking destroyed. And I was like, well, time to restart a new game and not get fucked anally as bad as I did. So,
yeah. I mean, I played a game a couple of years ago. I can't even remember what it was called, but I was talking about it a while ago, and I never did find out what it was. But it was basically, it was like a multiplayer shooter, but it was on one-shot kill. And I just loved the idea that everybody was having to sort of hide and like sneak around and stuff, because you couldn't just run into a situation, because literally just one shot and you're dead for the rest of the match. I love that sort of thing.
I know what you're talking about. There was also a different variant of that where it's an online multiplayer. It's one shot, one kill, but if you die, you get kicked from the server.
Yeah, that's basically the same thing as this. Is that you didn't get kicked, but you could only spectate at that point.
See, I've done that on like Counter-Strike, where people just modify the room, one bullet kills you, and so like the match starts, and it's like 3 minutes of weeding each other out, and then one shot, someone dies, then the teams go fucking frantic. It's fun. It's real fun. But I like that. Occasionally, I like a challenge like that. That's spits in the face of something like Call of Duty or Battlefield, where it's like, oh,
exactly.
Full of lead and shit. So I don't know. So yeah, I've played pretty much XCOM, and I've been playing a very hardcore PC game. So I don't think anybody's gonna know it, but it's Homeworld: Deserts of Karak. It's a prequel to Homeworld, hardcore RTS on PC. If you're into it, people, I might do a review just because I got a lot to say about it. But essentially, you are playing a real-time strategy game. You got a giant ship that can produce resources, and you got this big planet. They're like, all right, in the middle of the planet, we detected some sort of anomaly, and you got to go see what it is. So you start taking this trip across the desert, and you got to build forces and all that to take on the enemy that's trying to stop you. And it's like really about using your mind and trying to like flank opponents with different units, and like changing your ship's power. You have to balance the ship's power to like shields or engines so you don't overheat and stuff like that. It's hardcore PC guys will enjoy it. People that don't like these type of games will absolutely fucking hate it. So
yeah, the only game I played recently was Gravity Rush Remastered. It was actually pretty good for the price. Even I got it. Since I got it for $25, and I didn't know this at the time, but it also comes included with all the DLC that the PlayStation Vita version had.
So tell people what the hell Gravity Rush is, because I think a lot of people are gonna be like, what?
Well, it was originally an unofficial mascot for the PlayStation Vita, but since the Vita kind of died, Studio Japan brought it over to PlayStation 4 with the remastered version, and Gravity Rush 2 is going to be a PlayStation 4 exclusive, so it's just trying to get people reacquainted with the franchise. But Gravity Rush is basically about this girl named Kat. She's a gravity shifter. They have powers to control gravity, and the map and the world is actually pretty big for being a handheld game, because you can literally float and go all around the area. It's pretty big. But the story I'm just going to go into, because I have a review of it's coming, but it's that Kat wakes up in the city of Hicksville, and she doesn't have any memory of what's going on or even who she is at that point. And it's just, I guess, a puzzle platformer going around and trying to discover who Kat really is and what everything's about, and even who are gravity shifters, because there's one other one named Raven that's in there. So it's actually pretty good puzzle platformer, because you're gonna have you're gonna have to think on your feet, because you can control gravity. So there will be times where you have to find out what type of situation you're in, because Kat can go pretty much anywhere in the plane of view. She can walk up, run up walls, under platforms, even stand there for stealth missions, and it's actually pretty interesting.
If it ever comes to PS Plus 1 month, I'll have to give it a download.
This is one of the games I could see coming to PlayStation Plus in a year or so. Like, totally, this is one of them.
I mean, I can see the 2.5D older Assassin's Creed Chronicles games coming out as well.
Yeah, the reason why I said it's a good value for $25 if you have Amazon Prime for the next week, or just the regular $29, is that they added the 4 extra DLC packs, which adds I think like 2 extra hours each of story.
Nice,
sweet.
Damn, that's a good deal.
And you get extra costumes, and it also comes with challenge maps to just see how good you are with your gravity powers.
Oh, that's cool.
That does sound fun.
So, anybody else playing anything else?
I'm still just playing GTA at the moment.
Damn, well,
I'm looking forward to The Division coming out, but at the moment GTA is just online multiplayer. It's just so much fun.
I know so many people that are just into that. That's all they play every day. There's like, nah, man, GTA multiplayer. I'm like, all right. Yeah.
There is so much variety now that people have started making modded races and stuff. Like there's so much like. There's these huge like spiral loop races that I was doing at the airport today, and it's insane. It's like 720 loops that you have to go through in the air, and if you fall, you explode. And it's like Mario Kart Rainbow Road, but on steroids with guns.
That's good. So, I guess with that, we will wrap up this show. And as I said, it will be on CBC Now on Sunday. So if you're listening to this on a Sunday, tomorrow on the Control Breakers channel, you will be able to hear this podcast, or the new version, so episode 64. Oh, since it's episode 64, we should talk about N64 and our greatest memories with that shit.
The only memory I gotten is this. I wanted an N64 when it came out. You know what my dad did? He got me a PlayStation.
Smart dad.
Oh, man. I loved my N64. I mean, the only thing that I'll say is a few weeks ago on a podcast, I said about how I would like a HD remaster of the original Turok Dinosaur Hunter game for N64, and then literally 2 days later they announced the HD port.
Yep,
and it's fucking shite.
They just updated the resolution and that's it.
They've literally just upscaled it. Like a few of the textures have been improved. Like it doesn't look wildly different. And added a new lighting thing, so now there's like rays and stuff.
Did you ever see the Turok game that came out on Xbox, PS2, and GameCube?
I have the GameCube one still.
I actually enjoyed that one. Like
it wasn't bad. The graphics were pretty great. I mean, it was towards the end of the GameCube's life, and the graphics on GameCube, developers by that point had learned to really push the hardware to its limits for the GameCube, and it was one of the better looking titles for sure.
Like the only other memory I have, because I played a couple of them from my cousins because I got a Nintendo 64. The only other memory I had, it's not really a good one, is getting those fucking blisters on your thumbs. The analog stick.
I played it to death, and I never once had blisters on my thumbs. I never understood that. All my friends did, and they were just like, "How the hell is this?" I was lucky, I guess. Maybe I've got very thick skin on my thumbs. I did a lot of drawing as a kid. Maybe it's like where the pen had worn it to a crust.
So with that in mind, guys, we'll join you, next week, and you feel free to join us. Let us know what you've been playing, what games you're excited about that are coming out this week, if you've picked any up, and we'll see you guys next time.